Whether you have the desire to be an orthopedic surgeon or a plastic surgeon, you need to understand the principles of tendon repair. Today's session is going to be a live tutorial on the flexor tendon repair. We're going to cover one of the three most common repairs. That's the Adelaide tendon repair. We're going to be using first a schematic drawing, and that's on the Samsung 10 Ultra. And then next we're going to be using these simulated tendons by MedSync, which you can see in the tagged products. So to start off with, you have to be able to draw your tendon repair before anyone's going to let you do it. So assuming you're sitting here, I'm sure you like my little stickman drawing, the Adelaide repair is a 4-stranded core repair. It's a locking repair. You start by always going into the central substance, and that's going to just be with your suture. You're going to go in, and a dashed line means you're in the tendon. This distance has to be at least 1 centimeter every time. So you take a core bite 1 centimeter from the site of division, and you come out. A dashed line means you're outside. A straight line means the suture is visible. Sorry, a dashed line means you're inside the tendon. A straight line means you're visible outside the tendon. So you've taken a 1 centimeter bite inside, it's 1 centimeter distance, and then you come out. This is on the anterior surface of the tendon, but on the half towards me. You then need to take a bite away from yourself, slightly ahead of where you've come out. So I'm going to go here, and it's going to go from me, away from me. So I'm going to go in here. If I go in here, that will leave a suture visible here. I'm going to come out here. So I won't see the suture, I'll just see this one. I'll come out on top. The Adelaide is kind of, you know the evidence of an Adelaide because it's always a cross over. So I need to come in here. If I come out here and go in here, that will create the cross here. And then I need to exit down the side wall of the tendon. So that's going to be here, here, and then I come out. I continue to the other half. I'm going to take a 1 centimeter bite as discussed. So I'm going to go in, and come out. This second bite, after you come out on the first one, was away. On this one, it needs to be towards. So I'm going to go in here and come out somewhere here. And so that's going to look like this, because I've come out here, I've gone in there, the suture is visible on top. If I go in there and come out here, it's going to not see anything here. It's going to see a suture and a needle come out here. I need to recreate this cross. So if I've got an oblique line here, to recreate the cross, I have to go in here. If I go in there and I've come out there, that will lay suture there. And then you're going to come down here. And now you're going into the other half. So I'll give you a little mnemonic after this to help you remember the order in which you do this. And then after we've done this simulation on the drawing, I'll then do it on one of these simulated MedSync tendons, which is tagged in the products. You can always get one from there. So we've done one, we've done two. We've now got 2 strands of our core repair. I'm going to go in here and come out 1 centimeter on the far half of this tendon. So 1 centimeter. I'm going to come out here. I then need to stitch towards myself. So I've come out here. I'm going to go in here, and then I'm going to come out here. If I come out here and go in here, that leaves a suture visible here, but my suture material is not visible here. I need to recreate the cross. So if I've come out here, I need to go in here. Again, I'll give you a little mnemonic in a bit more detail, but first you need to get your mind out around the concept if you haven't done one of these before. I've taken a 1 centimeter bite, come out here. I've gone in here, come out here. I've come out here, and I've gone in there. I need to exit the tendon. Now I need to do the last of the strands That's 3 strands so far. It's 1 centimeter. I've come out here. I now need to stitch away from myself. So I'm going to come out here and go in here. That's going to leave a suture visible here. If I've come in here, I'm going to go in. Sorry, I've come out here and gone in here. If I've gone in here, I need to exit over here. Just like there. To recreate the cross, I've come out here, I need to go in here. And it goes like that. It means I need to exit in the middle of the tendon substance. And then this suture that I'm finishing with and this suture that I'm finishing with, I tie them to each other. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 strands, and the repair is here. So how do I remember this when I'm doing it in practice? The mnemonic I go with is Adelaide away, A, T, T, A. It doesn't mean much, just made it up, but it's how I remember the order to do that away, towards, or away bite. So how can you help memorize this even further? The first bite is always a longitudinal bite. Number 1, it's always 1 centimeter in distance. The second bite is either away or towards. So for the first Adelaide repair, it's away. For the second Adelaide repair, it's towards. For the third one, it's towards. And for the fourth one, it's away. So that's me saying you do your first bite, your first bite, your first bite, your first bite is always a straight line. The second bite, which is the transverse bite, is either this direction or this direction. How you remember is because Adelaide away, ATTA. So 1 centimeter bite longitudinal. The first one is away from myself. It's always distal or further on from where I've exited. So I've exited here, I need to go in here. Just whether I stitch away from myself or towards myself. For the first one, I stitch away. For the second one, for the second Adelaide repair, still 1 centimeter bite. I now need to take a bite towards myself, so from here to here. For the third one, I need to do the same thing, stitch towards myself, so from here to here. And then for the fourth one, I need to stitch away from myself, so I still do the 1 centimeter bite longitudinally, and then stitch away from myself. That is how you would draw an Adelaide tendon repair. For all tendon repairs, when someone asks you to draw them, you draw 2 tubes, and then you say that this means you're outside the tendon, this means you're inside the tendon. You say that you do a core repair, you do an epitendinous repair, you talk about your sutures, and then you tell them which technique you're going to go with. So this was a simulated drawing on the Samsung Ultra. You can always visit the Amazon link in the description below if you like the look of that. So now what we're going to do a simulated repair on one of the MedSync tendon simulators. So we have those here. You can check those out in the products. They come with sutures. You can also get the instruments if you so desire. So in our members area, you can, today we're just going to cover the repair itself and the technique. In our members area, we're going to do a session on the weekend, probably on Saturday, talking about the sutures, how you decide which you're going to go with, and some real nuances that you're going to need to do this. Because it's a bit more than just performing the technique. There is a lot of decision making to go with it. So let's do some zooming in. If you're getting value out of this, please like the feed. And if you want to, feel free to subscribe. These are reusable, so when you finish the repair and you want to do another one, you can cut off the ends and bring them together. So the Adelaide core tendon repair. Here we go. Doing this live. Let's see if we can improve our light a little bit. Okay, So I think in the simulation that I drew, I started here, but I'm going to start here on this instance because for my economy of movement, it's easier. So Adelaide away, ATTA. The first bite is a 1 centimeter bite longitudinally. You know what? I'm going to use this one. Got a better field of view. So the first bite is 1 centimeter longitudinally down 1/2. So you go in. You can see that I'm just going to hold the tendon once. I'm not going to let go of it until I finish the repair. In some of the suturing videos for skin, I talk about how you turn the needle without using your forceps. This is one of those reasons why you would need to do that. The more you keep grabbing the end of the tendon, the more you traumatize it. Many people, specifically the orthopods, are like, you shouldn't use a tooth forceps. You cause trauma. The trauma is caused by crushing that pressure between your fingers. If you just hold it the once at a place where it's already been cut, you are not going to cause any more damage. If you keep taking the forceps off and taking them back and putting them back on, and different areas, you're going to crush the tendon further, you're going to get more adhesions and poor function. So the Adelaide repair, it starts with a longitudinal bite, 1 centimeter in distance. You come out, Adelaide away, ATTA. So my second bite needs to be away. So I'm going to turn the needle around, try and be a bit smoother about that. And I go just distal to my point of exit. It's a big needle, this, and this is a small tendon, so I want it a bit tighter than that. Okay, let's engage my needle. And then my next bite is going to be oblique across that. So I'm going to go in down here, exit at the site of division. I think my suture is going in the right place. Just make sure I'm not entangled. I'm going to push this down and pull the suture. As you can see, I have not let go of that tendon once. And you watch it lay down and it forms the square. So that's number one. I now come over to this side. I grab it just the once. Always a longitudinal bite down the core of the tendon. So 1 centimeter distance down the tendon repair. And then my suture is under there, so I'm just going to sweep it through. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put that down. This is another tip for you. You can get like a little artery clip. I'm going to use one of the MedSync needle holders. And you can put a clip on the end. And that just keeps the suture out of the way. I'm doing this live, so these are the kind of struggles you have in theatre, and that's fine. I'm just going to clip that there and put it down. If you have an assistant, he'll do it for you, but I don't have one of those, so that's where we go with this. So Adelaide away, ATTA. That was the away one. This needs to be towards, so the suture needs to turn around. So the first bite is always longitudinal. Second bite is always distal to the first. It's either away from you or towards you. This one needs to be towards me, so I'm going to go in here and come out here. I don't really like that bite, so I'm going to take it out actually. I'm just going to go a bit more distal. And I need to anticipate where I'm going next. I need to go from out here over there. So rather than grabbing it now, I don't want to let go of this tendon. I want to hold on to it and just carry on stitching. So I'm going to mount it in the way I need it. That's called anticipation. And now all I have to do is just place the suture like this. And it come out of the central substance, like so. Push it through, mount it exactly how I want it straight away, and pull, 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 and the second cross is made. So Adelaide away, T, T-A. Now I'm here. I need to do the same thing on the other half. To hold the tendon properly, I haven't got good purchase. I'm going to bring my hand across. And we're going to go 1 centimeter bite. Redirect that, not happy with it. Maybe slightly more central. Okay. So this one needs to be towards me. So pull it. Your suture selection is really important. As you can see, the suture material gets crossed by your needle. So you have to select a round-bodied suture. Again, I now need to take that transverse bite towards myself. My hand's in my way, so I'm just going to have to do this very carefully. I'm thinking how best to do this. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to let go, but that's okay. It happens. Just going to readjust. Adelaide away, towards, away. And then my next bite is down here. You need to move your body with your suture. So I'm now looking down the barrel of the tendon repair. I need to come out down the side, still within the central substance. Not like that. I need to redirect my suture as I think it's a bit too towards the midline. It's in the core, but I don't like its trajectory. So I want to go in like this. That's much better. I can see it coming out of the middle, but towards the side. And when I'm happy with that, I need to go longitudinally down this side. I'm going to remount it how I want it, so I don't have to fudge around and do it again. And there we are. So I've got the last Adelaide to do. Away, towards, away. So the first bite is longitudinal, 1 centimeter. If you're getting value out of this, feel free to like the feed. If you love it, subscribe. If you want to become a member, we're going to talk about the suture selection and some nuances with the suture selection. There's lots of other members-only videos there. You get exclusive access and replies to your queries. So I need to do the last one, which is ATTA. That's away. So we're going to go in here, come out here. And you can use a round-bodied suture to avoid cutting your stitches. What does that mean? You can check out our video on suture selection. Turn this around, I need to come towards the middle. This is the Adelaide tendon repair. It's a locking 4-stranded repair. You pull. And now I can let go of this. You need to tie your suture. Some people hand tie, I tend to instrument tie. You have to notice though, in your suture, where you've been clipping it is where it will fracture if you try and tie it there. If you've got a traumatized tendon, you would need to cut off the frayed ends. So let's pretend this is a frayed end. I'm just going to chop that off to tidy it up. But your epitendinous repair will also do some of that. So square knots, long end, the needle holder between long and short, wrap towards the short. So 1, 2, surgeon's knot. It's not a, let me zoom out so you can see a bit more actually. There you go. So it's 1, 2, it's not all this movement. 1, 2, grab the tip and tie it a square knot. It's progressive tension till you see it compress. You need to make sure the memory is taken out of the suture before you start. One of our recent videos was a bit on memory removal from sutures and how to do it and when to do it. That was the surgeon's knot followed by a reef knot. This is a structural repair. So you need to do 4 to 6 knots because this is a monofilament. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. When I do my tendon repairs, I like to bury my knot to make sure it's really in the substance, therefore it won't catch on the pulley system. In one of our other live sessions, you can see us talk about the pulley system. Check those out. So I've cut just the short end. I'm going to take a bite in the central substance of the tendon and come out. This helps me bury my knot, like so. And then you cut it flush. So, to summarize, we did a 4-stranded tendon repair. This was the core suture. It was an Adelaide repair. You'd write this on your op note. I used a round-bodied 3/0 Prolene suture. I cut the suture in half. I took the memory out to start with. On the weekend, we'll do a session on that and maybe also do the epitendinous repair to go with it. It's characterized by, well, how I remember it, Adelaide away, ATTA. That means that the first bite for all these halves are the same. It's a 1 centimeter bite in distance from the site of division. It's longitudinal. The second bite is either away from you or towards you. Then you need to recreate the cross by going across the visible suture that you see. It's a 4-stranded locking repair, so you have to pull the suture through whilst you're doing the crosses. You can't pull all the suture through. It can't be loose, and then you pull it through when you tie the knot. It's a structural repair, so you need to do between 4 and 6 knots if you use a monofilament, but we don't always use monofilaments, and I can talk to you a bit about that on Saturday. This has been a live session on the Adelaide core tendon repair. If you got value out of this, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you want exclusive content, become a member and drop your questions. Thanks very much. Take care.